Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video of Cubs Daily, hosted by me, Steven Ryan. We are here to bring you all the exciting things surrounding the Chicago Cubs. February is almost ending. We're ramping up into March. The Cubs have an early opening day this year in Japan. It's going to be beautiful. Then, in just about 1 month, I think it's actually 1 month from today, the Cubs will be playing the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona, domestic opening day. I personally cannot be more excited. I'm happy to bring you all the news, notes, and signings right here on Cubs Daily. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which new Cubs addition is going to have the biggest impact on the team this upcoming season. It could be Kyle Tucker. It could be Vidal Brujan, John Birdie, Justin Turner. Who knows? Let me know in the comments your thoughts, and I will happily get back to you guys. So, without further ado, let's dive right into today's news and notes. We're going to start off right away with Nico Hoerner, who's been dealing with a forearm tendon surgery since last October. We knew he was kind of ramping up slowly, and today, officially, Craig Counsell was interviewed by Taylor McGregor, and he let us know that they're thinking he's tracking very much towards domestic opening day. Their plan is for him to be ready for that. They do not plan on him traveling with the team to Japan. This is per Craig Counsell. So, unfortunate news. Didn't want to hear that kind of, but either way, like I said in previous videos, we need a healthy Nico Hoerner, a ball player's ball player, as I like to say. We need him to be ready for this Cubs team to take over the NL Central and get back to the playoffs, because I miss being in playoff baseball. I miss the stress. I miss the high-intensity action, and I'm sure you Cubs fans miss that as well. But on a more positive note, like I said, I did report the other day that Matt Shaw probably will not be traveling to the team with the team to Japan as well. But good news is we are beginning to see him ramp up for his spring training debut. Bruce Levine on 670 The Score was talking about this, saying, hey, in the next few days, Matt Shaw is going to get some playing time. He's going to make his spring training debut, and this is exciting for us Cubs fans, right? He is the #1 prospect in our system. Honestly, he is the kind of the key that can make this season incredibly special here in Chicago. We got a lot of great supplementary pieces. We got that power bat in Kyle Tucker. But if Matt Shaw can develop into the superstar bat that the Cubs need, a la Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, this team could have a very, very special season. So, looking forward to seeing Matt Shaw's debut. I won't look too much into it because it's just spring training. Not sure which action he'll be facing specifically, but excited to see him in that Cubs uniform, taking some reps at third base, second base, wherever the Cubs may plan to play him. The Cubs have a lot of flexibility this year in terms of position players in the infield and outfield, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see how the Cubs use him this upcoming spring. Now, another guy the Cubs are going to be looking forward to using, Michael Busch. It's going to look like he's going to get the full-fledged role at first base. He's going to be splitting time with Justin Turner over there, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Turner is 40 years old, so I think they predominantly want to use him as a bench bat. They really want to give Michael Busch the full go. Last year, in his first full season, he had 248. He had 21 home runs, drove in 65 RBIs. It was a very, very solid, quote-unquote, rookie season for the young man. So I'm really looking to see if he can maybe develop even further, maybe get to 25, 30 home runs, drive in 75, 80 RBIs. I'll be very curious to see how Michael Busch does this year. I was looking at some ZIP projections over the next 3 years, and it looks like he's pretty much projected to do the exact same thing he did this previous season, which does pause me for some concern, but sometimes in baseball, all you're looking for is consistency, right? But I'm a little greedy as a fan. I know we all are sometimes. I would love to see the Cubs maybe go get that superstar bat, and maybe Michael Busch is a great trade piece on that front. Or, you know what? He surprises everybody this year and has an absolutely epic 2025 and helps the Cubs reach those new heights, going back to the playoffs, taking back the Central, and maybe, just maybe, taking us back to the Fall Classic, which would be very exciting to see. So I'm very excited to watch Michael Busch. He's had a very solid spring so far. He looks like he's more comfortable at the plate, more comfortable against major league pitching, which again, he was kind of backstopped in that Dodger organization. Obviously, when you sign the likes of Freddie Freeman, I'm sorry, there's just not a lot of room for you to play, unfortunately, because Freddie Freeman is going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's 100% for sure a sure ballot Hall of Famer. So, unfortunate for Michael Busch there. Jed Hoyer, who we're about to get to here in a moment, made an excellent deal, got Michael Busch on a fairly team-friendly deal. I mean, we didn't have to give up much at all by any means. So, excited to see Michael Busch here in the next season and the years to come. But let's talk about the man here next, our main man, Jed Hoyer, who is in the last year of his contract, ladies and gentlemen. Jed Hoyer has had a very, very interesting tenure in terms of Cubs fans' perspective, I would say. And honestly, the more that I look into it, the more that I take a step back, I'm like, hey, you know what? This tenure is kind of going along the lines of the one that Theo Epstein had with us. And obviously, I think we would make that deal 100% over again, right? When Theo Epstein came over in 2010, he had a press conference. He said, hey, there's going to be a plan in place. It's not going to be pretty these first few seasons, okay? We're not going to be a good ball club. And the Cubs were not a good ball club. They won 62 games, 65 games, etc., etc. But what you saw every single season with those Cubs teams is slight improvement. I know for a fact as a Cubs fan, I never paid more attention to the MLB draft in my life, making all the deals like Scott Feldman for Jake Arrieta. Like, the little nuances to baseball are crazy. I love looking back at those type of deals, ladies and gentlemen. And the Cubs have chipped away on that front. Here is a year-by-year record breakdown of Jed Hoyer's tenure through the first 5 years. So the first year, it was 71 and 91. That was the Patrick Wisdom and Frank Schwindel led Cubs team. Now, obviously, that team was not going to be super, super solid. But then in 2022, we made a nice signing like Seiya Suzuki. He came on over. Obviously, Nico Hoerner's development has progressed very nicely. Ian Happ becoming more the face of the franchise over the past few years. 74 wins the next year. And then we made a very nice jump in 2023 when we had the Dansby Swanson signing to the team. And then last year was kind of more of a disappointment, like we said, because we wanted to see that, that next step, right? We wanted to win maybe 86, 87 games and go win the division. But I don't think the Cubs had enough star potential like they do now, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I think the Cubs have a much better roster than last year. Their bench has upgraded significantly. They essentially flipped Christopher Morel for Kyle Tucker, which is an absolutely killer deal. They got Hayden Wesneski, and they used him and Cam Smith to help, and Isaac Paredes to go get Kyle Tucker as well. So I think the Cubs have done a good job of getting the pieces they need. They're not overly aggressive. I know we want to see them be like the Mets and the Dodgers because we are a big league market. But, it's kind of been said and known that we don't spend like that here in Chicago, okay? I mean, the largest contract that we've offered is, I still think it's Jason Hayward, honestly. Like, we didn't give it to Chris Bryant, who, technically would have been one of the more deserving players to earn a $200+ million deal. But we won that deal as well. Like, Chris Bryant has not been the same since leaving Chicago. And even towards the end of his Chicago tenure, it was kind of starting to fall apart. So I think Hoyer has made a lot of tough decisions that maybe the fans don't like, but the team needs. So I'm a Jed Hoyer supporter on that front. I do think he deserves another few years on this tenure. Now, obviously, in year 6 for Theo Epstein, it ended in a World Series. But let's take a look at this year for the Cubs, right? It's the 5th year of Jed Hoyer's tenure. It was the 5th year of Theo Epstein's tenure where they made the playoffs, they made the NLCS, and we're like, okay, the Cubs are here to play some ball. Now, let's see if they can do that this year, and maybe in 2026, 10 years later, ironically, they can build off that success and maybe go win themselves another World Series, or at least compete for another World Series, because I would love to be in that position again. The 2016 to 2018 era was so much fun for me personally. I loved Cubs baseball. They never gave up. They always were in it no matter what the score. I missed that. I know you guys missed that as well. So I'm very excited to see what this year's Cubs team does. I think they're going to be really, really good. Like I said there, I put 89 projected. I know Pacoda has put them at 90 wins. I've seen some where they're in the 86, 87 range. So I was like, hey, how about 89 wins for the Cubs this year? I think it's very possible. I think we've improved on all fronts. Our offense will hopefully be more consistent. Our bullpen should be a lot better and getting off to a lot better start than last year as well. And the pitching these past few years has been solid enough to take us to the playoffs. So I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Jed Hoyer as well? Are you enjoying him as the president of baseball operations? Do you like some of the moves he made? Do you think he should be gone after this year? Again, chime in with the comments. I'd love to hear everyone's opinion. We're trying to build this fun Cubs community. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I'll see you in the next one.